in your books, you reference the sacred often. Could you explain what that means to you? And in the future, could there be something that everyone commonly understands or feels is sacred, or is this concept varies from person to person? What do you think?
Well, I chose the word the sacred because it has less baggage than the spiritual and certainly is a distant relative of the religious. I grew up without any religious training, and what I discovered relatively early on was that nature was the place that I went to for sanctuary, for refuge, when I needed to be healed, to feel better. And uh, and then as we started doing Bioneers, I began to realize that I love nature in a way that I don't even want to call it nature anymore because we are nature. It puts nature separate from us, and we are nature. But my love of this life and the land and the globe that we get to inhabit is so deep that I thought if I ever show this to anybody, they're going to think I'm crazy. And then the more that I learned and was mentored by Native peoples, the more I saw that they relate to everything on this earth as sacred and as a relative. And so the sacred became for me a kind of a way of referring to what I care about most deeply, what is most important to my heart. Um, and, that doesn't preclude people. I love people and I'm very devoted to them. But I think our loss of the sacred in modern culture, in modern Western culture, is a root source of what's awry in the world today and what has led us to this point.
You're mentioning Native Americans and how they are tethered and view nature as a connection and their relatives. So if you take a 6 to 10 year old native child and a standard 6 to 10 year old child in Santa Fe or Chicago or Minneapolis or something, I think they both feel this connection to nature, right? It's in us. It's almost been forgotten. So I assume that the native cultures are continuing with the education and the rituals and the ceremonies and the stories, and we've just exercised those from our current culture, or is it something deeper than that?
Well, I mean, from my limited understanding of where indigenous cultures are in this country at this time, they're beginning to reclaim their language and their ceremonies. They are in a deep process of healing and recovery, frankly, because part of the hidden history of this country, of course, is our sequential genocidal tactics to eradicate Native culture and Native peoples from this land.
We didn't really learn that in high school either.
No, we sure didn't. Um, and so, I think that they are in a process of reclaiming it. And, um, there's a wonderful illustration of this that I like to point to that's actually a very short YouTube video that's called The Mycelium is Listening. And it tells the story with Paul Stamets's voice of, yeah, who you know, right? Or know of him.
I certainly know of him. There was another movie
Yes.
last year, something about mushrooms. I forgot what it was, but
Fabulous fungi.
that one I
Yes.
watched. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is a very short YouTube video, and what it describes is that science has now proven that the mycelium deep under the earth, which are, of course, the sort of roots of mushrooms, and which are unseen but have enormous ecological functions, that they actually respond to sound frequencies. And the sound frequencies that they respond to the most are the really low frequencies, like drumming. And so you can imagine, right, that our ancestors or Native people's ancestors doing ceremony on this land, when they would do their seasonal ceremonies to express gratitude and to call in the rain, that drumming spoke to the mycelium, and all of nature is listening, right? I mean, it's kind of a remarkable, wonderful illustration of how much we don't know.